This is one of those conversations the internet keeps dodging until it can't anymore. Because when TPS ends and deportations enter the chat, suddenly the internet gets really loud real fast. What's wild is how quickly the tone shifts from "I'm not black" to "Hey, can you all help us?" in quotes. The internet never forgets. However old creeps are, they will always resurface. Watch this.
Somalis are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now, chat. Am I black? I'm literally brown. I'm literally brown, bro. Think about it as well. Somalis are Arabs. We're in the Arab leagues. We speak the Arab language. We eat the Arab food. Bro, think about it like this, bro. If a whole community doesn't regard themselves as black, we can't be black, bro.
Somalis are not black. Now, before you disagree with me, I just want to say, listen, right? There's no such thing as the term black. The term black only came about in colonization. I don't have to accept that, Sahib. That's why the other day when I was in a place, someone said to me, "Are you black?" I said, "I'm not black, Sahib. I don't."
So today we are reacting to reactions, and we are not attacking anyone. We are just going to break down what people are saying and why they are saying it, and why this moment has everybody talking. Stick around, this gets interesting real quick. Notice the language being used here. So statements like "I'm not black, I'm Somali, we are different," that's not our struggle. So those ideas didn't come from nowhere, and people heard them loud and clear. Now, what happens when the policy changes?
The biggest fear is, as black Americans are delineating and America as a country is doing the same thing, they're coming after us. Donald Trump got elected, immigrants are scared. So now black Americans are doing their own thing. At the time we're hoping that they would be standing up for us, and being part of our coalition. But
yeah, and that's the problem.
We don't know what to do now.
Now, the message shifts to "we are all black, we need solidarity, where is the community?" That contrast, not the policy itself, is what people are reacting to. And let's be honest, people don't like selective unity. If you distance yourself during stable times, but ask for support during hard times, folks are going to notice. That doesn't mean anyone deserves harm. It just explains why the reactions are so strong. On the other side, so let's talk about the reactions themselves. So a lot of black Americans online are not saying you deserve this. No. What they are saying is, we want you. We're trying to explain how these systems works. And we talked about coalition politics for years. Let's continue watching this clip.
Yeah, because we told people, they kept telling us, well, you FBS don't work hard. You don't work. We came over with $2 and we were this, and y'all need to learn from us. It got real bad. And people got very arrogant, and even Jamaicans, they still do it. They still tell us, "Oh, don't come to Jamaica. Oh, don't do this. You are entitled." And y'all were telling us all of this stuff about how hard you work and how lazy we were. And we said, okay, well, handle your business then. And now people don't like it.
And can I say something? Do you know, I think that's why a lot of immigrants are running for office. There's a lot of Somalis in Minnesota, the New York mayor, because I think they're scared now since that, the current political system in America, and maybe black Americans are not as supportive anymore. So they feel like they have to fight for themselves. They have to have a presence, or else it's over for immigrants here.
Yeah, and that ain't working because they ain't getting elected. A lot of them are not getting elected like that. It's like Winston Sears, like your boy out there in Minnesota, Fatah, whatever his name is. He got washed, so it ain't really working out like they wanted to work out. So, hey man, it's cats should have really checked themselves with the disrespect.
So how about we have a restart, man? Black Americans and black immigrants, we forget everything in the past. We sign a new contract. We put the disputes and all this stuff to the past and just have a fresh start. Respect each other, respect each other's cultures, work together where we can work together. Let's try to work on that. I'm ready for that.
reaction isn't hatred, it is frustration because historically, Black Americans have lived through policy changes, enforcement shifts, and systematic pressure for generations. So, when that lived experience gets dismissed and others later run into the same system, the response often comes out as sarcasm, humor, or even blunt commentary online.
The thing is, man, it's going to have to start back in the homeland. It has to start there because a lot of people bring over the same tribalistic disposition that they had over there. They bring it over here and they look at us as just another tribal group. And that's not going to work. We've been upholding global black unity, and we've been pretty much doing it by our damn selves. So it's time for these other groups to start standing on business over in the homeland, making sure some of that tribal nonsense has stopped, and then people can come to the table and say, hey, let's get out and, let's break bread.
When you wake up and find out your temporary status is gone.
Trump administration is ending the temporary protected status of Somali migrants. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem telling Fox News, temporary means temporary.
Yep, that's the definition.
Country conditions in Somalia have improved to the point that it no longer meets the law's requirement for temporary protected status.
Which means you good, boo. You can go home.
Further, allowing Somali nationals to remain temporarily in the United States is contrary to our national interests. We are putting Americans first.
We got till March 17th to get the heck out.
This topic hits nerves because it sits at the intersection of immigration, race, identity, and even political reality. So here is the uncomfortable truth. The system does not care about internal community distinctions. When policies change, nuance disappears. So this is not about blame, it's about how systems actually operate. And that's why you're seeing people say, we're trying to tell you all the rules apply differently than you actually think. So not to shame, but to point out the reality.
You can't cosplay as us anymore. You can't say, oh, let me drop whatever language I speak at home and start talking like a brother and get reparations or get anything that's specifically black. You don't want that. The last thing you want is delineation, but every time I turn around on somebody's Instagram, they got 15 flags and none of them are American. But they want to tell us how we lazy and we this, that, and the third. But it was our ancestors that got you immigration, the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. We did all of that. Now it's our turn. And because we're saying we're foundational black Americans, because if anybody understood their history, the majority of black Americans, when you look at the slaves, the majority of the slaves did not come here. There was a very small percentage, and then they bred us like cattle. Had us sleeping like rabbits. The term mother came from what they made us do to us. So, we have no place to go home to. You can go back to Lagos. You can go back to Nigeria. You can go back to the Ivory Coast. You can go wherever you came from. And since you're so better, why ain't you there? But you do not have a right to sit up here and say that we can't fight for our rights or have the right to delineate. We have a culture. We have a culture so good that Akon came over here and cosplayed as one of us. Tell me I'm lying.
Here is what both sides are missing. So solidarity isn't something you turn on during emergencies. It is built before you actually need it. This doesn't mean people can't grow, change perspectives, or even rethink identity. That is human. But accountability and conversation have to happen together. And honestly, that conversation is overdue. Let's watch this clip.
In case you did not know, Somalis are notorious for looting, stealing, their piracy, very well known for. They marry children, they don't have women's rights, women can't vote. And when you import a bunch of them into the middle of Minnesota, in our country, they're going to do the same thing. They are going to steal. They are going to... It's so crazy that we've done this. They're not going to assimilate. They are just going to find a stronghold of a shared community of values that they have, Somali values in a Western culture, and they're going to do the same thing. They're going to cut off female genitalia because 99% of Somali women have done that, or I guess had that done to them. They are going to steal. Again, what do you think of when you think of Somalia? Piracy. Which is exactly what we are seeing, because in case you did not know, there is currently a massive investigation into this Medicaid fraud scheme amongst the Somali community in our country. They're making fraudulent claims and they are stealing from the taxpayers. They're stealing from our government. And if that wasn't bad enough, it has been reported that we are the largest funder of Al-Shabaab, their terror group back in Somalia. Yeah, they've been defrauding the US government and then sending it to our enemy. And we are at work paying for it. Calling this out, it's not racist, it's not xenophobic, it's not being anti-Somali, it's saying, hey, I actually think Western culture, the freedoms that we have, are superior. I would much rather live in a country where I have a voice, where I can vote, where my genitals aren't removed, where I can wear what I want, practice what religion I want. I think that's a superior way of life. And the people in Somalia do not think that's a superior way of life. They're coming here to change it and expecting anything else from a group of people that have not changed in their home country and then bringing them here and thinking they're going to change here. It's insane. It's insanity. And it's going to be the end of our freedoms. We cannot tolerate a group of people who do not tolerate our freedoms.
So, aside from her seeming like she was sounding like a Chinese movie because the audio didn't seem like it was synced with her lips, that's on her side, not on my side. I think that some of it is true, and then some of it is embellished, right? And this is why we have to have conversations about these type of things, because yes, they are bringing their culture over here. Yes, I have been to Minneapolis and I've witnessed it with my own eyes. Yes, I've spent over a week and seen it with my own eyes. At the same time, it's difficult for me to say that you got to get rid of them and kick them out if the majority of them are American citizens. I believe in the rule of law. I believe in operating by the Constitution. I also don't believe in birthright citizenship. And I believe that people that are not supposed to be here in the United States of America should be removed if they are an illegal migrant on the soil of the United States of America. Now, what we also need to do is change the rules by which they are leveraging American law to continue to come over here in the United States of America. So, for example, Trump did a great job by removing temporary protective status, TPS, from Somalis who are over in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they have literally...
So I want to hear from you respectively. Do you see this as growth or contradiction? Is this about unity or politics? Or is this just how the internet reacts to everything? Drop your thoughts below on the comment section. Please keep it respectful and also keep it real. If you like commentary that breaks down tough conversations without going off the rails, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.